Hi guys, it's Liam. I meant to post an update a long time ago, but things got pretty busy, so this is the first chance I've had to do it. And on this past Saturday, I hit 3 months on T, so I'm like 3 months and 3 days now, something like that. And so far things have been going pretty well. There have been lots of changes, like my voice is deeper, and there's lots of hair everywhere. Like, my legs are like a forest. And I've had to start shaving, otherwise it looks like I've got pubic hair on my chin. And I pass a lot more now. I think it has to do with my voice, and I don't know what else, but I usually think I'm like 16 or 14, but I'll take it. And what else has changed? Muscle growth, definitely. Like, my shoulders have gotten broader, and my chest has gotten smaller. So that's good. I'm pretty happy about that. And that's... Oh, and acne has appeared, which it's hard to tell if, because it's recently gotten, pretty hot, so it's hard to tell if the acne is just from, like, my binder and being in the heat, or the tea. It's probably, like, a mixture of both, and so, but I've kind of got a hold on that. I bought, like, an acne body clearing spray that you, like, spray on your body, so far that's pretty much nipped the problem in the bud, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I haven't really had any trouble with, like, mood swings or anything like that, except maybe a little when I had menopause symptoms, because I only had one period after I started testosterone, and then it stopped. Like a month into HRT, I started having hot flashes and like a little bit like mood swings and stuff like that. And the hot flashes are terrible. Like, I haven't heard a lot of guys mention them in the videos, but they really suck. Like, it felt like I was being, like, put in a pot of boiling water. There's just, like, no relief for the amount of time that the hot flash lasts. So that was not fun. But those have kind of stopped. Like, I still get them every now and again, but, like, very rarely. I used to get them, like, once a day or maybe a couple times a day for, like, a good 2 weeks. That was a nightmare. Also, my nose has gotten bigger. That's kind of weird. But, yeah. And the thing I wanted to talk about today, aside from changes on tea, is how I started tea. So, what I actually did was, this is something that my dad suggested to me. So, rather than getting my doctor to refer me to an endocrinologist, because I'm away from home at school, and the last time before I started this that I went to the doctor was when I was like a sophomore in high school, because I don't get sick very often. And so I didn't have a doctor, because my family had switched doctors like twice since then. So my dad suggested that I just try and find a trans-friendly doctor, since I'm over by the Bay Area. And so I did lots of research. It took, like, I must have spent like a good month on the internet trying to find a trans-friendly doctor. And then what ended up happening was my girlfriend went on the internet and, like, changed the keywords I was using, like, by one word or something, and then she got a hit and found the doctor that I have now. his name's Dr. Howard Rice, and he's worked with a lot of trans patients, and he's pretty cool and respectful, which made the situation much easier for me, and he helped get me a lot of resources to get the ball rolling. And the thing that is really nice about, because he's my general practitioner and he's who I got the hormones through, the thing that's really nice about that is, like, when I have any other problem that's not, like, transition related, like, I know I can go to the doctor's office and they will use the right pronouns and, like, you know, treat me in a respectful way. So that makes everything kind of less stressful. And so I think that was a really good idea. And so he referred me to a website called Gaylesta, which is a way to find LGBT-friendly therapists. And so I cross-referenced that list with the list of like registered counselors and therapists of my health insurance, and found one that was LGBT friendly, it had dealt with transitions, and that was covered by my insurance. But I called her and she didn't have she had a full practice, so she couldn't accept any new patients. But then I asked her if she could refer me to anyone who would be suitable for my situation and had similar approaches to, like, therapy, and she referred me to the therapist that I currently have. And so that ended up working out really well, because since I had gotten all of the people that I was calling on the phone with about like therapy from Gaylesta, it was a pretty pain-free experience. Like, even if they were like, oh no, I have a full practice, or I don't accept Anthem Blue Cross, whatever, it wasn't stressful, and like, it was so much better to what I was doing before, because before my doctor told me about Gaylesta, and before I found the I think it's the GLMA website that has trans-friendly, like, physicians and doctors and stuff like that, and surgeons, what I was doing was I was just calling all the doctors and endocrinologists in the area and asking them if they were trans-friendly, and that was horrible. I don't recommend doing that. It was a nightmare. So that was like definitely pain-free in comparison. And so that's how I got set up with my therapist. And then I saw her 2 times before I got my letter, and like the first 2 months of therapy, I was seeing her on a weekly basis, and then now I'm bi-weekly. And like, I guess we're just so slowly gonna wean off, like, because once I become more settled in the transition, it won't be as necessary. So she gave me the letter, then I went to go see my doctor, and then he gave me the prescription, and then as soon as I got that filled, I went in, he showed me how to do the shots, and then I was on T. So the whole process, though, from getting in contact, I started looking for doctors in December, and then I started on T in April, but once I had seen Dr. Rice, then it had been about 2 months. It took me about 2 months from seeing Dr. Rice the first time to get on therapy, because of how long it took to, like, find, like, my therapist and, like, all that other information. And, like, I did have a slight problem when I got my prescription, because I'm sure, as all of you guys know, testosterone is a class 3 substance, controlled substance, so they don't let just anybody get it from the pharmacy. So when I went to the pharmacy to pick it up, they told me that my insurance wasn't going to cover it because of the basis of my sex. Like, they just had a blanket ban on it for all people who were female-bodied. So, like, if you had that F sex marker, then you just couldn't get it through the insurance. And Anthem Blue Cross only started covering, like, trans healthcare starting this past December. And so, I don't know if they're just working out the kinks or whatever, just because it's such, like, you know, like, the substance is such a big deal. But, so, what I ended up having to do was I called the health insurance, and then they had me fill out, it was an exception form, and so I faxed that to my doctor, and then the doctor filled it out and faxed it back to them, and then I was approved to take it, and so then I went to the pharmacy and was covered by my insurance. So that ended up working out well. It was just like a hoop to jump through, but you know, it's worth it. And so that's how I started on T. So I didn't take, like, I don't have an endocrinologist, and so I didn't take, like, the traditional route, but I thought about getting endocrinologist, but like, just after seeing my doctor a couple of times and, like, hearing, like, the experience that he has dealing with trans patients, I feel pretty confident that he knows what he's doing, and so I don't feel the need to get an endocrinologist. Like, maybe I'll do that someday in the future, like, if I move, and, like, because, you know, I'm sure that, you know, I know that Dr. Rice is kind of like a rare breed, and so it might be easier for me to find a endocrinologist that's willing to, like, help me along with my transition than it will be to find a GP, but so far, this is a situation that's working out the best for me. So yeah, that's how I started T. So, and all the websites that I was talking about earlier that I use to find doctors and therapists and stuff like that are in the link that's in the description box of my first video. And there's lots of other cool resources there just to help people, like, along with their transition or, like, any kind of issue that they have to deal with if they're gender variant. So I urge you guys to check that out. It's something I work hard to put together, and it's just out there to help people. Alright, so you guys have an awesome day. See you next time.